This webtoon left me a bit mind blown. Out of the hundreds of regression stories where the female lead dies by someone's hand or an accident, never in my days did I expect a regression plot to start based off of someone doing something to themselves. With regression plots, this one is no different, like heading back to an extremely older time period with usually insufferable characters all around. The way this is probably the shortest title I've seen in this genre, kinda crazy. Lead character Levantis has an expected backstory for a regression plot. Her husband cheats on her, her closest friend gets entangled, and when this character brings up the frequent cheating and to respect the marriage at least, he brings up a question which could be perceived as petty, the most interesting choice of a response because it's kind of psychotic in the moment to bring up that character's infertility, but a lot of these regressions are kind of bizarre at the beginning. Their marriage was arranged between the House of Levantis and Klein Bank for their long-standing partnership, but suddenly a revelation happens about her father being arrested for espionage. Now I'm surprised I read that right on one try, but if you are like me and you don't know what that word means, don't worry, I'm not gonna explain it to you. We're all gonna be dumb together. Their mansion is quickly raided. Embezzlement is mentioned. Yeah, that's a big word for Elmo. Quickly turning to her husband to ask for help to prove her father's innocence, little does she know he's behind it. He tells her to hide in a monastery and that he'll visit her every few months, and in a way, basically, this is imprisonment. A bunch of time passes and someone comes by like, hey, you still down there? That's crazy, I thought you were banished. Revealing to her, shockingly, after being taken into custody, her father took his own life, allegedly. And while one could assume reading this, damn, what a coward, that's not what happened. One day, Val decides to return. The MC has lost it, sitting in there for a couple months with like absolutely nothing to do. I'm not shocked. No phone, no Connect 4, not even a piece of paper, like just a newspaper that your dad killed yourself. Like, that's kind of crazy. I would probably, huh? Oh yeah, about that. Upset he didn't save her father, he said he's hired several lawyers to have all of her charges dismissed. But jumping the gun, quite literally, I don't even know where she got this shit from. This part was a bit confusing because of the text coloring. I understand the tones are implying it's important, but if it was just coming from her dialogue and there's nothing implying he's saying it, I'm confused. Regardless of which, declaring she can't be controlled, she just fucking shoots herself. Damn, at least get him first, I don't know. Regardless of this insane start, this is the start of the regression. And she is reversed to 6 months prior. Is there a difference between this and like 90% of these other types of stories on Webtoon? I think this is the first one where someone just said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Being reversed, she finds out her father is still alive. As one would expect the story to go, she says she still misses him and tries to talk him out of the original deal with Vesson. He is easily convinced. I understand that he has this really I care for my daughter personality trait, but like, I don't know, that's like millions of currency in whatever their currency name is, I forgot, but to like easily throw over a deal because she asked so easy was just interesting writing. Following this, she is requesting to see her husband. He went to a monastery and she notices the past has changed. She then requests a locksmith to break in while shouting at everyone around her. And we learn she's been married since the age of 19 and that her staff around her has been mistreating her since she moved there. So before you could feel any pity for the butler she was mistreating, he was speaking bad about her since her arrival. And he's just been waiting for her to be dismissed. Same time her husband is chasing after her. Wasn't too sure what was happening here, kinda random. What's in the safe, you may ask? Hopefully her will to live and some explanations. A list of spies Vesson hired, investment statuses, political moves, overcomplicated things I couldn't explain, regression shit, you know? The entire scheme to overthrow is basically in there. This is the ancient royal times, everything is meant to sound overwhelmingly smart. But it's all in the papers. He's going to pull 50 million and accuse the bank's president of being a spy and blah 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 blah. Basically what we're aware of that already happened. But she wants something to leverage and get out of her marriage entirely. And I was concerned because if half the castle hates her and is aware she's digging into the safe, who's gonna snitch on her? Whatever may happen, she's looking for a solid cause of divorce that the royal family can't dispute. Rushing to meet Quintana, one of the frequent people her husband slept with, the lead brings up overhearing servants talking to her friend that made the connection, and she wanted to talk to her about it, trick her into explaining what the plan was. She would be cast aside once her husband returned, and when her close friend does that and throws out she's not helping her, she gets surprised at the lead saying she's glad, and tells her she knows nothing and thanks her that she even provided evidence of her being cheated on, rejoicing in her suffering. And I don't know, the character's reasoning for hating her did not seem convincing to me, or maybe just entirely interesting, I'm gonna be honest, because you don't actually expect me to believe she hates her because she didn't start out as a noble, but she's slapped following this and has evidence to move forward in the right direction. But that's about all the episodes I was given to read. Apparently from chapter 0, there's another love interest and she's gonna hire him as a hitman, so I'm curious where that's gonna go. Out of the umpteenth regression regressions I've seen. Again, I'm surprised how the entire start was handled. Hiring an entire hitman to be also someone you're in a relationship with is the most random but yet interesting spin I've seen added to that type of story, but I can't say much because I've only gotten like 3 chapters technically. But a lot of these regressions can get really repetitive, so with this, I will definitely keep my neck out for this series. The art style is visually gripping, I love the tones and the patterns, out to see more within the main character. This seems like it could be a real shit show in a good way. If you are interested in series like Not Your Typical Reincarnation Story or just any regression plot, maybe this will be something for you.